Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are on this marvelous planet we humans call Earth, I hope you are having a serene day, evening, night, wherever you happen to be located. Welcome to my channel on Blender Topics, or because sometimes 3D topics, because some things I discuss, it applies to all of them. But today, our topic specifically deal with Blender nodes. Yes, Blender nodes. Every 3D package got its little twist on nodes, so this exclusively dealing with Blender. But if you are a devotee of some other 3D package and you're thinking about jumping into the Blender tub, I welcome you. Welcome to stay. Let's start. My topic for today is, to me, it was that mysterious, elusive math node. I learned about the math node several hours ago, looking at YouTube videos. But you know, when you look at a video, it make the lights go off, and I'm taking it up to a higher level. So hopefully, what I'm showing you, I'm taking what I learned from the videos to a higher level. But if I don't forget, I will put links to the videos that steered me in the right direction, and I hope they will do the same for you if what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you. So let's jump right in. I'm going to delete Harold the Cube. I'm going to add the plane, because you know, for the most part, when we use those shader nodes, most of us always use a simple plane. I'm going to scale up to level 4. Hit enter. Good. Now, I'm ready to go right into the shader. Click shader. I should have had my shader set to a default mode, but I got to set that later. So right now, I'm just going to set it up the way I like. Get rid of these Get rid of these windows. That. Come up here to my outlier. I'm expand it a little bit. Drag it down. Click on the editor types. Choose 3D viewport. From there, I'm gonna go to the Eevee key. The Eevee right here. Click the down arrow. Up the world view. But I really don't need that. I really don't. I like these, so I just need it in that top view right there. I'm gonna hit new. Here's my default shaders, printable PDF and material output as always. Drag them over so I can have more space. I'm gonna click on add. As you know, I'm gonna add the famous or infamous texture node. Drag it over here. Oh man. I hate this new version of Blender because it seems like okay, that's good. Damn. These new versions makes it hard to manipulate these nodes. Okay, I'll leave it right here. Don't worry about it. I want to connect it to the base. I'm going to put it on object, but you could choose any one you want. I just want to choose object. You know, most of the time people use an object all the time, but you can choose any one. I'm going to drop in my add a texture. For this, I'm going to use the wave texture. With a couple seconds, this should show up. Okay, I'm waiting. The wave hasn't shown up yet. I wonder why. I wonder why the wave hasn't shown up. I'm gonna hit the store. Oh, I know why. I'm sorry. I had it in subsurface, not base color. But we live and learn. You see, we live and learn. So I got it there. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm just going to distort it some so it don't look so parallel. Okay, that's a nice distortion right there. Now I'm going to bring in the star of the show. Go to converter. Go to map range. Here is the star of the show. So I when I saw other YouTube videos, they had a bunch of other nodes in there. A bunch of others. My main focus, I may throw another one in there, but my main focus, as you can see, is just the map node. I'm not bringing no other nodes in to confuse anyone. I just need that map node, and that's it. And my little demonstration over here, where the outlier at, that new area. Yeah, the 3D viewport. So, one thing I discovered, good people, today. This is the first thing I discovered. Okay, what's going on here? I don't want this window. Join. Right there. Okay, good. That's what I wanted. That's why I probably was messing up earlier. That's why. See, it's big and large, so if you have a low poly, if it's sort of fuzzy on your screen, you can still see that word map range. You know how it is on the internet. Sometimes you don't have a high definition quality, but it's large. Let me expand this over just a little bit more. Just a little. Okay, that's good. The first thing I discovered after I hit T and I go to my annotate tool, first thing I discovered already is they represent the color black. I should hit N and make it yellow. I'm gonna choose my color to yellow, make it stand out more. Tool, a yellowish color. And my radius, I should make it darker too. Factor. Nope. So I just leave it as it is. I worry about other stuff later. Alright, so the first thing I discovered already, this represents black. Black. And the other ones represents white. Now, before I go further, I want to let you all know the map range node, it does have a relationship with the color ramp node. But the color ramp node, as y'all know, is just more easy because you get to see the scales. Instead of seeing them little ticks, like the little triangles to adjust the colors, you have to adjust mathematical numbers for this. And I'm going to give you an example how. But this map range has a relationship with the color ramp. Or, I discovered this even more, it can amplify the effect of the color ramp. Because when you're adjusting the color ramps, all you just doing is adjusting the color value, the color scale. This one controls the intensity of exactly where you are. Color ramp to endure the intensity, you gotta eyeball it and try to make it to the left or right. This controls the intensity of a particular color exactly. And also, so we know that black and white. In addition to that, it still is based on the numbers from 0 to 1. Or I can say less than 0, such as 2500ths, -3, etc. If it's less than 0, it's black. If it's bigger than 1, such as 1 and 3500ths, 4, etc., it will be white. Some intensity of white. 0 or less, some intensity of black. But you know, for black, when it's dark, that's it. It ain't gonna get no darker. For white, when it's at the, but you know, for white, you can have upper levels of white. You know, like more intense levels of white. All right, so got that out the way. Then I'm gonna show you the magic I discover about this map range node. The YouTube videos, they gave me the help, but then I took it to another level. The YouTube author, he didn't explain it. I had to think about it. As you see right here in the map range nodes. Oops, I gotta take it off of that. Let me erase this little mark. The map range nodes. I took it to a math level. Here's the math level. There are 4 points here. 4, you can call them points. Here's point number 1. Point 1. Oops, I still got it on erase. Here's point 1, point 2, point 3, and point 4. If you remember, in basic math in middle school, when you was learning about points, if you remember, 4 points makes a quadrilateral. That's what I took. That's what I thought. Hey, and that helped me out immensely. The 4 points of a quadrilateral. All right. That will help me immensely. So I'm gonna make our quadrilateral. Then we're gonna keep on rolling. And I take so. And I'm gonna name this. This is my max side. I'll call this max side. And this is the 2 side. We're gonna have max value max value. Well, we already know it's a max. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna make a mistake. I gotta get rid of the word max. It's the word from. So that's all right. Simple mistake. This is the from side. And that's the 2 side. Both sides have a max. Max. And it has a min. And a min. Okay, so here's my first point for the min, a point for the max, again a point for the max on the side of 2, and a point for 2 min. You connect them, and you have a wonderful rectangle. And a rectangle, for this one, my min value, see, I'm gonna put it back to the default mode, 0 here. I guess when I was moving around, with the annotate tool, I must have hit the wrong button. That's what I wanted. So, alright. So basically, my min on both sides is from 0 to 1. Now I can amp it up, but I'm gonna show you already what happened when you. Now remember, when you keep it to a square, when it's a rectangular shape, that means your max and min have the same values. I'm gonna change the min. I'm gonna give them my min a number 2. Let's see what happened. 2 for this min, and 2 for that min. It got completely white. So min, in a way, it's going to control the intensity. So I'm going to put it back to 0. 0. And 0. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you can put that right here. Min controls the intensity. That's part of our lining. See, part of my lining. I'm gonna take it down to a negative. Let me see if it get darker. Cause when I went to 2, it went over 1, so it went to a whitish level. I'm gonna make this -3, my man. I'm just experimenting, -3. And see, it's dark. But remember, here, black is black. So it's not going to get super black. Even if I put -10. First is white. negative 10. See? It can't get no more. But now, but you get the point. When it's the same values, my rectangle hasn't changed, so the effect on the object won't change. You get that? When you keep it rectangular, it won't change. Let me add some more numbers in here. I'm going to call this 2. I'm going to put 2 straight down. 2, 2, 2. Alright, so since it's greater than 1 now. Oh, I forgot. I know what's wrong. Because you remember, they had the default values of 1, 0, 1, 0. So I made everything 2. So the light intensity has changed. So keep that in mind. When you change all the values, the intensity will change for the whole thing. I'm going to change it back to 1. Let's see what happened. Yeah, it still should be a white because 1 is white. You got me? That's what I said. Now, right here, I can put white for black 0. For white 1. Now let's put it to 5/10. Let's see what happened. It should be a grayish color now. 5/10. 5/10. 5/10. Okay, we see it's getting grayish and 5/10. It's a grayish color. I can see it. I'm gonna bring it down to 1/10. 1/10. 1/10. 1/10. See? And 1/10. It's more good. So remember that. So when you change the values of everything, it's just gonna be what about from 0 to 1. And remember said it has a relation with the color ramp. Even if you add colors into the color ramp, you know that range is still from 0. If I made it the color ramp red, it's still from 0 to 1 intensity of red, or intensity of those different shades of colors in there. Alright, so I hope I remember how to put it back to the default mode. I think it was 1, 0. 1, yeah, 0. There we go. I'm gonna reverse it. Now let me put in 1, 0. 1, 0. And you see we right back. So it don't even matter if you switch the 0 and the 1 and etc. It won't matter. It won't matter. It won't. Now, because the rectangle is still basically a rectangle from 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Well, that's basically, yeah, it's still a rectangle to a point, or a straight line. You can say rectangle, straight line. But I gave each of them, I gave each of them points, so it's basically a straight up rectangle. Now, the magic is when you start leaving. I just changed one value. For instance, you remember. Let me put it down some. Remember, the top is black. Let me bring it down some more. Oops. I remember. The top is black. The all the from is black. All the 2 is white. So now let me change a slight value in the I'm gonna change the max to 3. Okay. Or to 2. But it got darker. Let me change this to 3. It got super dark now. Oh, but I said it was black, so it was doing what I said. The top is, remember, from controls black intensity. I'm gonna put it to 5. It's doing it. Remember that. See, I didn't never know that. And the videos didn't tell me that. They made it complicated. The YouTube videos made it complicated. From is black. 2 is white. That's it. and you just mess with different. See, you just mess with stuff right there to control your black level. Just say, I want to make it more black. I'm messing with from. I'm messing with from. So let me put it to 1. I want to make it lighter. Let me mess with the 2, 5, and zap. You see that? And that's it. So with the matte range, you just mess with from black. So I want to make it black. So let me just mess with from. If I want to make it lighter, I just mess with 2. And then if you want to combine it, you can mess with from and 2 and do what you want. But that's the fundamental thing. See, the videos didn't teach me that. Let me change this min to a 1. Now it may get darker. I'm just estimating. And see, it got even more. So remember, 2 really controls the white. I want to bring the intensity down. You see that? And it's even darker now because I went to a negative. I'm going to increase it again. You see it's getting more and more white. And that's it, my good people. So now you know a lot about the math node. That the most important thing, you remember, from controls black, min controls, 2 controls white. Now, if you do them together, which I'm going to do in a few minutes, let me erase all this stuff right here. I want to erase all this. I want to try a value node. Eraser. Erase all this stuff. Erase all this. Go back up here. Make it a little bit smaller. I want to bring this over to the... Erase this stuff. Erase here. Put it back here. I want to bring in a value node. So I want to add a input value. So I want to control the min, both the mins at the same time. Here's an input from min, and here's an input to min. And you can go any way you want. You can make the math node control any of them. And if I can make the math node control the value node control them all, but I just want to use the value node just to control my min values for both from and to. Now let's see what happened. You see now it's set to 0. Let's say if I put it to 1, let's see what happened. See? It got light. If I put it to 0.5 tenths, it's getting darker. And it got more intense dark. So, and that's it, see? Oh. Now if you control both your mins at the same time, that's going to control different intensities of white. See, I didn't know that. So remember, I guess if you control certain ones at the same time, it controls different intensity of white. So it won't make it black. Because the min, I think, they just control the white. I'm going to switch it up in a few minutes and see what it do when I make it to the max. See? All min will do, control the white values. Alright, I'm going to take it off here. I'm going to move it to max. Move here to max. And see, I knew it. And max controls both from max. I'm sorry. I was wrong. From min and to min controls white. So from max and to max control white. And that makes sense. Because remember, max is the maximum color. And for the default modes of color, the maximum value is 1. You can go higher, but the default is really 1. And for minimum, the default value is 0. So it should control just black. So let's see. It's controlling. I'm going to put it just to 0 again. All black. So, oh, I'm in max. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. My eyes messing me up. So, max controls black. But you got it right here. It's min controls white. Please forgive me. But I said I've only been doing this for a couple hours. Eh? So max controls the black value. Min controls the white. And I'm gonna summarize that before I go. So both the max control black. So you see that, and it's an intense black. Everything in that viewport has the same intensity of black. You may want to use that in some of your the artwork. Okay, so we got that. Max controls black. Now I'm gonna move it back to the men. Move it back to the men. And that should be the opposite. Control white as we see. It's 1.7, so I bring it down. And that has a small threshold too. A very small threshold to control the white. A small threshold. Okay. I'm gonna put it back to max. Put it back to max. Let me see the threshold is up. This may have a small threshold too. Oh well, this has a greater threshold because it's going up to 7, 8, 9. The white, but when it got to past a certain number, it don't get no darker. But the threshold for the max, it is. Okay, so that's it, my good people. That's it, my 3D family. See, taking the mystery out of these the map range node at its fundamental level, as I said earlier. Max seems to control. Let's see what color the men. From seems to control what values? Black. And put a 0. See? Oh, and I got it on. Oh, if I put it from men to from max, it just gonna make it all black. You got me? I'm controlling them both. It just black, nothing. So that part will never help you. Let me see if I control both values from the 2 part. 2. That's still okay. I have it at -4, so we put it to 1. So this goes, yeah, all white or all black. So I guess we will never do that. Use both the values in there. But we did see earlier. Let me change everything back to what it was. 0, 1. But we do got some insight now on what these values from in a map range can do. I hope I gave you a little bit of insight. You know, nobody's ever perfect, but I hope I gave you some insights of how you can use the map range node to control the intensity of your particular artwork. To just control the intensity of it. See, it's getting lighter. I bring that down some. But I think I'll be using this more now to control the intensity of some of my work. You have to, and you have to play around with it. You have to play with it to get what you want. But that's it, good people. Thank you for stopping by to do our journey of this map range node. I hope I gave you some insight into it, and I hope I took away some of the mystery and the fear of using it. Because you know what? Most people hate using these nodes, because I know nodes is based on computer programming. And a lot of people can't do that. So if you're a beginner, like I always like to say, don't stop, keep learning, keep growing. As you all see from my videos, I keep expanding, I keep pushing. Don't stop. Till the next time, Blender family, 3D family, peace.